Is it because Kodak is a Haitian that you feel this guy more than because I don't know, I feel the answer's a little bit biased.
It's a little biased.
Alright, I got a question for the panel. Do you think that Lil Baby is the best rapper in his 20s currently?
No.
Why is that?
Who is it?
That Baby or Lil Baby?
Lil Baby, the one that says
me-
freestyle. You know what I mean?
No, to me, the best rapper in their 20s is Kodak Black.
Okay. You know, explain why. Explain why.
I love
Because
Kodak, but that's not
Kodak,
the answer.
honestly, man, he has, not only does he have the talent, he has the flow, he writes. He tells stories. I think he's more of a storyteller. His music is more heartfelt than Lil Baby's music. Not to say that Lil Baby doesn't give stories, isn't about the streets, isn't about the hood,
Okay.
but Kodak seems to be really living it.
Is it because Kodak is a Haitian that you feel this guy more than because I don't know, I feel the answer's a little bit biased.
It's a little biased.
If Lil Baby was a Haitian and Kodak was Jamaican,
Maybe a little baby, you gotta listen.
But yo, Kodak's it, man.
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
even trip.
Okay, Ace, what do you think?
I read the question, I'm like, it could be Lil Baby, but if you're gonna stay in that genre, like I think, like talk about Miyagi and Danielson, I think Lil Durk is like created the style that Lil Baby's on, right? And for that reason, I'll have Lil Durk.
Can I ask you a question? Where's Lil Baby from?
He's from the hood. He's from Chicago.
Where's Little Baby?
Lil Baby, he's asking Lil Baby,
Lil Baby.
not Lil Durk.
Lil Durk.
Yeah.
Lil Baby.
Yeah, he said he's from Chicago. Lil
He's
Baby
from
got-
Atlanta.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
Where's Lil Durk
it's
from?
still the
Where's
same
Lil Durk from?
style.
He's asking, where Lil
It's
Durk
still the
telling
Chicago
me-
style is traveled to Atlanta too.
So you're telling me that an Atlanta artist is copying a Chicago artist? I'm just
Exactly.
asking the question.
Correct.
All right.
At the end of the day, listen, there's a lot of options, right? Because these guys at the end of the day, like, we're nitpicking with the options, okay? But for me, I have Lil Durk
Hold on,
because
okay.
he has the same flow as Lil Baby. Lil Durk just dropped a banger with Cry Now, A Laugh Later, and with Drake. Lil Durk, he's been on top of the game since 2020 was his best year.
Stop. IVP.
No. Listen. How you gonna outshine the master? No. How you gonna outshine the
Yo,
master?
you're doing Harlem Shake with
How
the
you-
mic. You know what I mean? Like, give me an answer, man. Yo, go ahead, man.
Yo!
I think best artist in their 20s. I'm gonna say, I'm a super old head, so I got nobody I can really put out there. I mean,
What?
they're all the same to me. You know what I mean?
No. Don't be disrespectful like that.
100%.
A lot of guys have been rapping from 20 to 29.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Young Thug. He's 29. I was thinking of even Cardi B. She's 28.
Yeah, Cardi.
What about WAP? When it dropped on Twitter, it was going crazy.
Hold on. You had all these
Wait,
answers in the
wait,
back of your mind,
wait,
and
wait,
you
hold
said
on.
what you said.
Wait.
I'm just saying,
I'll
to say that there's no options, come on.
Wait. So with everything you just said, with all those artists, for me, it's all white noise because they all contribute the same to the game to me right now. You know what I mean? Like what they bring to the table is catchy, pop music. Like they're making their money. You know what I mean? And I'm not someone who's ever gonna be against anybody making their money.
I'll tell you what, why don't you
Especially-
pick your poison? If you had to pick, I'm sure
Hold
there's
on.
one that you're like, okay.
Let me finish. So like I said, I'm never someone who's going to be against anyone of my culture, my people making their money. Let them get it. And what they're really good at doing is making catchy songs which are hype for the moment. You know what I mean? Like Bodak Yellow, hype for the moment. God bless her. You know what I mean? She did a lot. And like you said, Young Thug, hot.
No,
one of
he
my
said-
favorite
he said-
songs.
he said
Classic.
Kodak.
You know what I mean? No, he said Young Thug, 29 years old. He said that. He said that.
It's still names,
it's okay.
right? Of guys
That's
that
all right. That's
could be.
okay. Listen, it's all good. My point is, none of them to me could equate to what Hov has done in their lifetime, in their body of work. If I'm gonna take Cardi B's 3 years of work, will not ever hold weight to what Hov has done in 3 years of work. Nothing that they've ever done will hold weight to what Wayne has done in his body of work. So for me, what I said, the reason they're all the same is because that's just what the culture, the industry, the time right now is asking of these artists. And what I'm asking from my artists that I grew up on is way more, and for me the criteria is way higher. And for me, and that's just straight facts.
Lil Baby, for me, at this point right now, is the best rapper in his 20s because at the end of the day, I've listened to all his body of work. I never had to question some of his tracks. Kodak, I like.
In what
but-
sense you have to question the tracks?
No, I never had to question the tracks.
Like in terms of street cred?
No, I don't care about street. In terms of just delivery,
Right.
in terms of quality, like he never stretched. Even when he tried to do, it's bigger than like he did the Black Lives Movement track. Even though I know it's not him, he did it. He still made it made hot, right? Regardless, and then he understood that that's not his lane, so he went back to doing what he's supposed to do, right?
Yeah, it was
Kodak, I like him as an artist, but then there's sometimes Kodak he tries to do too much, you know. He wants to help out the homies, but the homies are not at his level yet. And when they will get there, trust me, it will be beautiful. But until then, keep doing your craft. Keep dropping Super Gremlin because that's the shit I want to hear. Keep shit like Expeditiously, the shit that pain that you just people coming at you, come with that, you know.
Now, how you
but
gonna
the
say
thing
that?
is, for me, when you start doing that floppy doppy shit where you try to jump on Bruno Mars and just try to get a hit, I don't want to hear that. But some people will, and some people are not going to tell you the truth, and they're going to let you do what you got to do, right? But Lil Baby Me consistently, every track, whether it's We Paid with 42 Dugg, he did his own shit where it's freestyle or he jumped on Moneybag Yo all of a sudden.
But would you
But I'm
agree
just
that he
saying-
has a similar style to Lil Durk, and Lil Durk's been doing that?
No, because
prior
the
to
thing,
him?
Lil Durk is from Chicago and they have a different way of talking
Yeah,
about
but we're
shit.
still stuck in this Chicago versus Atlanta
No,
rap
it is.
style.
It's a different type of lifestyle.
Sure, it's a different type of lifestyle, different type of rap, but
Yeah.
it's very similar to Lil Baby raps,
Lil
to
Baby's
Lil
not a
Durk
gangster,
raps.
and we know this. He never promoted that shit. Lil Durk is different. He's from that life. He got the OTF. Lil Baby's just chilling. 4PF.
Talk about raps here.
Yeah, rap.
Talk about raps.
Lil Durk, his music is not like Lil Baby's. They talk about different stories. Lil Baby never lived the life that Lil Durk lived. They have different similarities. They might be because they have Little because they got that from
Is
Lil
their
Wayne.
melody similar?
They got that from Lil Wayne. They're mastered. Everybody got the Little from Lil Wayne. So at the end of the day, they're gonna be Lil. That's the only similarity that they have. The moniker. That's it.
That's your point. Is it
That's a
straight
fact.
facts? I don't
No,
know.
it's a straight
All right, so T-Pain gave a tweet and he said that today's artists are more focused on getting hot now than on longevity. What are your thoughts?
We live in an industry of streams. It's about streams. It's about likes. It's about views. It's not about making actual money. It's not about actual longevity. Back in the day, artists actually try to build a career because when you sign that contract, your first deal with a music whoever, you have to create your first three albums, 4 albums, put your blood on the contract. Now,
Yes.
as an artist, I can be independent, working out of my mom's basement,
Yes.
and all I need is just one hit to pop off to get me streams, to get me paid, to allow me to finance the rest of my dream. All people want is that one opportunity, that one dream that people can give them the likes. People can look at them like, yo, you're that guy. Like, look at Designer. Look at Trinidad James. Look at, the list goes on. Look at, what's that? J-Boy Block, shoot.
Black Boy
Drake,
JB,
Black Boy
JB.
JB. How do you have a top charting song with Drizzy, Drake, Rodgers, and you fall off?
You know nowadays
You know what I'm
don't
saying?
get
So
paid
my
by
point
the
is,
album.
can I finish?
Go ahead.
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Yes.
So how could you have music that pops off, you're tarping with the number one artist in the world, Drake, and you fall off? Because all people care about is actually popping off. And when they get to that spot where they popped off, they don't have a plan outside of popping off. Because that's all they care about.
I agree with
That's
this.
all I gotta say.
I agree with this because nowadays all you need, you get paid by the song. You can get paid by the song now, right?
Jared, what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, man, I kind of get T-Pain's worry in terms of artists not necessarily thinking about longevity. Again, looking at today's day and age, people are just most likely looking to get hot quickly, and
One-hit
off
wonders.
of social media, it's a
Can I
lot
ask you,
easier
what do
to
you,
do
what do
so.
you care about longevity? What do you care about Black Boy JB being alive for
Nobody
10 years?
cares. We
Artist?
just
No one
want the
gives a
bangers.
fuck.
What do you
Yeah,
care?
I don't care.
I
Yeah.
personally don't care. I'm happy he made his money. I hope he moved his mom out the hood. I hope he
Yeah,
made
yeah.
his family generational wealth from that track. But outside of that, I hope him personally doing well. I can care less about his musical career.
So, do artists now care about the future of music, or?
We don't live in an era or a time where people care about anything beyond the instant moment that we're living in right now.
People
And
care
that's
about
straight
themselves,
facts.
JR. Get with the program. Even at the time when it was about the albums, like I think people cared about the state of hip hop and where it's
Yes.
going to be in the future.
Yes.
Maybe,
You know
but
why?
the
Because-
average rapper didn't. I think.
Listen, back in the day, because you lived in a hole, there were things called
Yes.
magazines.
Called Gatno.
There are people called magazines, that people used to actually buy magazines. People used to actually read articles about their artists. People used to actually read how many mics is this album gonna get before the album gets dropped. So if I know that Drake is releasing an album in September, all the people who write reviews on albums would have got that release in like March. They would have written their pre-reviews in like August, and based off those pre-reviews, every single one of us be talking about, yo, I can't wait for that album to drop. You hear what that guy wrote about this? You hear what that guy wrote about this? There's so much buzz, anticipation. The anticipation for music used to be real. But now you can go into a studio and crank something out like this and have it out on the streets bumping in Berlin and you record it in Ottawa. How does the state of hip hop compare from the 90s, early 2000s to currently right now?
It's rough, to be honest with you,
Good question.
because like if the beat is not nice in today's era, I'm not listening to it, because a lot of this shit is a mumble. A lot of this is.
Did you listen to a song with a bad beat in the early 2000s, 90s?
No, I'd listen to actually like the story. You know what I mean? The rap.
Yeah, but a good beat is always part of a good rap.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
No, because there's some beats like, for example, Farrakhan. You know what I mean? Where it's a smooth melody, where it's just the drums, but nothing too serious, and it's just like just lyrics overshadowed.
I don't want to listen to your playlist according to your
It's
taste
fine,
right
man.
now.
But yeah, at the end of the day, you're gonna
focus on the bars.
You're gonna tell
only.
me about Tekashi 9, the stuff they used to bump.
Okay, go ahead,
in the-
Reggie.
Hold on.
What do you think?
How we gonna talk about the 2000 rap, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is Tekashi 6ix9ine?
But that's what
Can
you
we
be bumping,
respect?
man.
So what do you think is better? Early 2000s? The early 2000s and the 90s or now?
I think that hip hop has evolved since the 90s. I don't think Drake gives us what he's giving us right now if it wasn't for the early 90s. Evolution is supposed to go in a better way, right? You can't recreate what was the past or else you get called a copycat. It's evolution. Yes, there's a lot of rappers saturated, but for me, Drake basically seals it.
Yeah, in terms of
So question, no. I got a serious question.
I got one question. The rap nowadays, they what I like.
Go, leave it. There, go. I never get the question. Let me do one question.
Let me finish. I'll finish for my point. I'll finish for my point. Go ahead.
You're about to go somewhere on the island secluded. You can only have 5 albums. All your 5 albums gonna be Drake?
There's gonna be at least 2 from Drizzy.
And who are the other artists?
At least.
Who's the other artist?
No, VP, you need to understand.
See, he's confused.
If I go on
He's not telling
VP's
the truth.
playlist right now,
on, man.
there's at least 20 songs from Drake. I'm sorry.
No.
If I go through your Apple, Spotify, and your Twitter mentions,
Okay,
there'll be 20
let's
Drake
not get to
mentions.
like opinions. Let's
JR, what do you
let's
think?
stick to the facts. In terms of creativity, I think today's rap music is a lot more creative than the 90s. Why? Because artists are now being pushed to not just rap, but come up with melodies. They're pushed to sing. You want to call this mumble rap some dumb shit, but at the end of the day, it pushes these artists to come up with these melodies. A way to come up with melodies is to mumble. So like
Mumble. So many guys are doing it. You gotta stay creative.
It's
All right,
creative.
It's
It's
the
more
early
creative
days.
today than it was before.
It was the early days. It's fine. We respect it. There was great songs that came out of that. But if rappers kept doing what the 90s were doing, you'd be like, what the fuck? Why is these niggas not? Why we're not? Why is DMX not selling out? Why is Nas not selling out? Right? Now, if you need to understand, you gotta get with the times, my brother.
Yeah, there's a reason
Yeah,
why
but yo,
Drake.
listen, hold on,
there's a
but
reason
listen.
why
You
Drake
just
today,
mentioned one artist, so that's what shows you how bad it is.
What?
If we can go back to the people in the 90s and 2000, we can
He's
mention
number
more
one
than
right
five.
now.
No,
Fine,
facts.
fine.
We can mention more
He's
than
setting the
All you
standard.
just said is Drake. Who else? We can say
I could
DMX.
name
Hold
you
on.
more.
We can say DMX, B.I.G.
I could name you more
We
than
can say
Drake.
Jay-Z.
I could name you more than
We can
Drake.
say Tupac.
Future.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Future.
I'm done. You want to give?
Future.
I'll give you my
Oh,
6
that's
minutes.
Future's top five.
Big
you know
Pun,
real hip hop.
Big
You know
Pun, Big Pun. You know what I mean?
Future's top
Fat
five.
Joe.
Future?
Busta
Future can
Rhymes.
beat all these niggas.
Wu Tang,
All of them.
Jada Kiss.
Yo, bro.
Yo, I'm sorry.
That was not
Future's
Cameron.
more
That's
creative
not what it
than
was,
Busta.
though.
But that's what I'm
He's
saying,
more
like,
creative
no, you
than
didn't- we
most
didn't
of
ask.
these niggas,
Nah,
man.
Future just knows how to
Yo,
do
can I
it.
tell you this? I'll tell you this. Is that hip hop back then was way better because it was more competitive. Hip hop back then, like the art of what hip hop is, it's about going at your opponent. You're going at their neck. You know what I mean? Hip hop is the rawest form of competition in artistry, in my opinion. Because you can't find another art where the competition is so raw that I will take your life. Because I'm
Very
so
sad.
competitively against you. Like,
Very sad.
you cannot find me another competitive time in music like the time there was the East Coast, West Coast beef of Biggie and Pac. Like, that took the whole world in handcuffs musically. You had to pick a side. You couldn't be, I'm from Montana, I'm not picking a side. You had to either rock with Big or you're rocking with Pac.
Fuck
there
it,
was
Duff
no-
Montana's in the middle. But yeah, at the end of the day, VP.
I'm not done. So my point is that back then, on top of that too, Pac and Big were lyrically different. Pac and Big were our rivals because one is from the East, one is from the West. East Coast, West Coast is different. California is different from New York. It's a different flow, it's a different vibe, different energy. Now, you'll find artists that come from California that sound like they're from Toronto, that sound like from Chicago, that sound like they're from Atlanta. Where are they from? I don't know where they're from. All I know is they're from America. Where are they from? I don't know. I don't know if they're from Canada. I don't know if they're from Ottawa. I don't know if they're from Montreal. I don't know if they're from, okay, Montreal, you already told the en français. But outside of that, you don't know where they're from because everyone sounds the same. Nowadays, if you don't sound like everybody else, you stick out in a negative light. Back in the day when I grew up, if you try to sound like somebody else, you're called a biter. If you look at the old Cameron and Jay-Z disses, Cameron had a song which is "I'm not a writer, I'm a biter," which was almost like a play on words for Jay-Z because
Shout out
everyone
to
said
Killer
that Jay-Z
Cam.
used to not write his own rhymes.
Stop. This guy's
The straight facts is where the hip hop and the culture is. When I grew up, you can't copy the person beside you. You can't copy someone else's test. You got to be so original in your own craft. You stick out, and that's what made you hype. That's what made you dope. That's what hip hop was about. All right, French Montana said it's easier to make it to the NBA than make it in the rap game. What do you think about that?
I agree, man, because what he really
Stop
said,
it.
Yeah, let me talk, homie. I'm not done. That's the problem with these youngins today.
Crazy.
They don't understand the game, right?
Respect,
OG
respect,
speaks,
I
you gotta
respect
listen.
everyone, brother.
So at the end of the day, what the man said is this: if you are blessed with physical gifts
Yes.
to make it to NBA, it's easier road than to be a rapper. Because nowadays, for example, if you have a shot like Steph Curry, you know what I mean, or you have the length of a Giannis and you're tall and you're able to take 2 steps and dunk on people. It's much easier to get in the NBA because
What is the percentage
let me
of
break it
people in
down to you.
society
Let me
that
break
has
it
these
down.
attributes?
As a rapper, all right, first of all, you need a hit, okay? In the NBA, there's over 500 players in there. It doesn't mean that you will be successful, but you can make it, for example, you can make it to a team.
Maybe
You
500 rappers that are
you can make it to a team, and then you could be put in a G League, all right?
Okay.
You could be, regardless, you have an opportunity. As a rapper, if you don't have a hit, record executives are like, I can't sell you. Like, if you don't have a buzz, if you don't have a marketability thing, you don't have something that people attain to listen to you, that's it. We're gonna go find something else because everybody is trying to be a rapper. Like, for example, if you're from New York, y'all want to do what? The drill music, you want to do the lyrical shit of Jadakiss. They've already been people before you, so you have to figure out what is your lane. In Atlanta, everybody's doing the trap music, everybody's dancing and partying, snap, crackle, pop, whatever you feel like. Yo, it's hard to.
But you can do it at
mimic that
5'6", just like you can do it at 7'2", correct?
Yeah.
5'6",
And you can do it with a 40-inch vertical, or you could do it with a non-vertical, like.
So what are you trying to say?
That's worth to be
What are you trying to
mentioned.
say then?
It's
You're saying it's
worth to be
easier or harder?
mentioned.
Are you saying it's easier or harder to make it
I'm
an
saying that
NBA
it's
rapper?
much harder, in my estimation, to make it to the NBA. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The NBA first, you need the attributes to go ahead to
But that's
get
the
even
question. The man said
considered.
if you're
You
blessed
could
with
be in
physical
Bangladesh
gifts,
rapping
that's the thing.
from your SoundCloud, and maybe you'll make
So
it.
you're saying it's easier to be a rapper?
I'm saying that if we have to put a number, we're nitpicking.
Hold on.
It's low odds for
Yes,
both
no
of them.
question. Yes, no question. You're saying it's easier to be a rapper.
I'm saying it's easier to be an NBA player.
Okay, easier.
No, sorry, to be a rapper.
Easier to be a rapper.
So,
Junior,
one
go
over your
ahead.
head, it's
Junior, what do
okay.
you-
Brother,
Junior, what do you think?
errors happen.
Nah, nah.
Junior, what do you think? Junior, what do you think?
Honestly, man, I think it's easier to be a rapper. If you connect the dots regardless, it's hard to make it anywhere.
Correct.
Like, if you want to be successful, you want to make a lot of money in any field, it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of hard work.
Any field.
Like Future said, tunnel vision for whatever. But again, like looking at what it takes to make it to the NBA, you have to be a certain height. You have to have these certain credentials, like physically, right? To actually even
But
be
that's what
somewhat
the
of a
man
prospect.
said. The man said if you're blessed
Somewhat
with
of a
physical
prospect,
gifts,
though. Yeah.
But what's the percentage of people
if
that are
you're
blessed?
This idea of
Yes.
rapping, though, you don't necessarily need any of these criterias, right? Like,
You need other criterias. That's
Okay,
for
hold
sure.
on. So you guys are both saying it's easier to be a rapper?
Yes.
yeah.
You're saying it's easier to be a rapper?
No. I said it's easier to be an NBA player.
What do you think, VP?
That's what I said, man.
I think
If you're blessed with
I
physical
think-
gifts of a Shaquille O'Neal, or nobody can
Shaquille
stop you on the
O'Neal?
court, but that's what I'm saying.
nigga
If you're,
said-
but that's what I'm saying. If you have that type of
Okay,
talent,
so
how
hold on.
you're not supposed to make it to the league? Who's
It
gonna
is
stop?
possible you don't make it
So-
to the league.
So here's what I
yeah.
gotta say. Here's what I gotta say though. Is like is hip hop doesn't have trainers training kids at 3 years old. Like for example, right now the amount of culture vultures that are out there right now trying to prey on young black kids to be the next LeBron James, to be the next Andrew Wiggins, to be the next
AAU
to be
culture.
the next thing. Like in every hood, every project, there's some
OG.
there's some gentleman or lady who is picking up a bunch of young black boys from neighborhoods and sending them to practice and sending them to teams and these teams are winning championships and these kids are being moved along the ladder to eventually have that opportunity to make it to the league, and they'll be like, that's my boy, you know what I mean? And then they get their piece of the pie. So the thing is there's not that for hip hop. There's not people going around picking up young black kids and bringing them to like studios to record little sessions and stuff like the Jackson 5. That doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to put in that work as an artist, you got to, for example, be able to on your iPhone be able to make beats, and on your iPhone be able to make the beats and the sound recorder to make it all work together. You know what I mean? You almost got to be like Hustle and Flow. You know what I mean? When DJ made his first beat, then his first beat, he made the track, and then you saw the whole way it happened. You know what I mean? It's like you have to, when you look at real rap entrepreneurs like Master P, can I ask you a question? Why does Master P stand out as an artist? I'll ask this to the panel. Why does Master P stand out as an artist versus regular artist? I'm going to ask you that question right now. Go ahead.
I just think that
Answer the question that I asked.
Because he's an executive.
How? Like what differentiates?
he made it.
He's not just a rapper.
He did it
He's
from the
an
ground up.
executive.
He did it himself
How
from
did he
the
do himself?
bottom,
Okay, go ahead.
from the bottom,
Okay.
from the hood.
I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna throw
From
you a
the
life
gut.
rap. I'm gonna save you. All right, I'm gonna save you from drowning right now. Here's what happened. The reason Master P is different because Master P sold mixtapes out his trunk to make himself a multi-millionaire. It's
a different era.
Can I finish?
It's a different era.
Can I finish? It's a different era, sure, go ahead. But in this era today, it's so much easier. Master P had to pay. You know how much money it cost back in the day to actually rap a CD and have
How
production?
many Master P's were
Like
on
I
rap?
said, it
How
was
many
not
Master
finished.
P's is
Can I
there?
finish?
How many
Can I finish?
masterpieces?
Can I finish?
Go ahead.
You know how easy it was to back, you know how hard it was back in the day to be able to get your album, wrap it in plastic, get your production, get your distribution, do all that
Without the
independently.
internet,
Independently, without the internet.
without the
Listen,
internet.
being from where he was down south, to me being able to pick up a Master P Body album here in Ottawa, Ontario as a kid, he made that happen on his own back, sweat, and dollar. Today, if I want to go make my own song, I can go make that song, post it on SoundCloud, post it on Spotify, and at the end of the year, I'm going to get my little end of the year wrap-up report that says I'm a little SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify rapper that has 77 listeners around the world, and of my 77 monthly listeners, 5 are from Ottawa, 6 are in Germany,
Yeah,
4,
but-
hold on, let me finish. 6 are in Germany, 5 are in Spain, the other in Australia. Do you know how people in Australia heard Master P's music? If Master P had people into him in Australia back in 1995, you know how he had to do it? He had to pay the money to get his album shipped from down South America all the way to Australia to get that music listened to out there. That's how he had to do it off his
But
own back.
Fresh
Thank
Montana
God
was
for
talking
the
about
internet.
1995. He
Thank
was talking
God
about
for the
2021. There's no shape
So
before
my
that. We're talking about the
point
90s
is-
here.
My point is, the reason it's easier to be an artist is because that hustle, that grind, is no longer.
So is it easier to be a rapper than it is to be an NBA player?
So much easier to be an NBA player.
It's
Than a rapper.
ludicrous. I find this
Bro, that's
crazy.
crazy,
No, but
bro.
yo,
I find this
That's
crazy.
Because as a
retarded, man.
rapper,
Let's just start with the basic
no,
mathematical
Can I
equation.
say my
How many
point?
guys are like, even like in the hood? Okay, how many guys in the hood are like 5'10", 6 foot? There's a lot of them, right?
Okay.
How many guys in the hood are 6'6",
But what about the people that are 6'7"?
Average NBA height is 6'7", 220. That's the weight.
How do you figure that?
Basic research.
Nah, man.
That being said, that being said,
Listen, at the end of the day, the point is.
I think
No,
we can
but
agree to
what-
disagree
what
because
you-
both
no,
are hard to me.
No, what you're mistaken is that he said it right. He said, how many white people are in the field of rap to come and tell
White,
you how
I'm
to-
talking about whites.
But regardless, the ones that have the money, the ones that put you in a situation, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't
if-
need 'em.
They don't need them, but how they gonna get out of the struggle to get it? They had to do
What's the
something.
struggle, man?
The struggle to be heard.
People can make it in rap, in artists in their 30s. But people can't make it in the NBA in their 30s.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll wrap it up with this. Regardless,
Yeah.
it is extremely competitive both fields, and it's hard to make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you off because that's a very soft way to wrap it up. And I'm gonna say this is that French Montana, where's he from? North Africa. He
Yes.
went from North Africa to the Mecca of music, New York, correct me if I'm wrong, and he made something of himself in New York as a person who's from North Africa. Originally, it's French Montana. Why? Because he's from Morocco. They speak French, right? That's why he's French Montana. That's who he is.
The
Montana,
Moroccan
now
G.
we all know
The
Montana.
Moroccan G.
Right? Now, my big thing is he understands what the grind was to make it from North Africa, to make it as an immigrant to the United States of America in New York, and to make something of himself as a hustler and as a grinder. You know what I mean? He knows what that path is like as an artist. It took, right now he's been in the game 15 years, and we're just kind of really talking about French Montana as a mainstream guy.
What about the
you talking
five?
about?
What about the
How
Chris
much-
Paul body type
What are you
player
talking about?
that's 5'10"?
Hold on. No, but
What
here's
about
my
the amount of
here's my
hours he
difference
put
is-
in?
But the reason I'm saying French Montana now is a mainstream guy is because French Montana himself, as you guys know, as a Billboard artist, as someone who's done things like if you want to talk about platinum, gold recording artists, all of French Montana's success has come off with features. French Montana does not have anything on his own as a gold, as a platinum artist, as a top 5, top 10 Billboard artist. Go check the facts. Go check the stats.
No,
What do you
he's right
mean?
on
My
that.
point
He's
is,
right on
my
that.
point is,
Features are there. Features are there. Sway Lee is a feature. Untouchable.
hold on.
is a
My
feature.
point
song.
is,
Let me finish.
hold on. Let me finish.
Top that is his song.
Let me finish. So French Montana knows as an artist how hard it is to be successful because himself has never won a championship on his own. You know what I mean? As an artist, he's always had to ride the piggybacks of other people. He had to do the LeBron, bringing people on his team. But the difference is he knows to be an NBA player, to make it to the NBA, you could literally be a LeBron James from Akron, Ohio, where no one, it's a small market NBA team, no one knows nobody about anything, and you could be the greatest basketball player in the world. But Frank Montana's from New York. That's why he's one of the greatest artists in the world. He could have done that being out of Cleveland, Ohio, except for Both Thugs and Harmony. Maybe